So I came across a video that two Dominican people recorded. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let y'all watch the video now so that you can come to your own conclusions, form your own opinions, right? So let me go ahead and stitch that in here.
We're Dominican. Of course we're black.
We Dominican. Of course we not black. Me no black. Me no black.
Oh, talk about this.
We not black.
But
We not black.
I'm telling Dominican. Of course I say bueno when things are indeed not bueno.
We Dominican. Of course my mother paid for everything con el pelo de todo.
We're Dominican. Of course our mothers send our clothes in a caja to the ER without telling us.
We Dominican. Of course I got a family in the States. A family in DR.
Oh, we're supposed to make us look good.
So I'm a pimp.
But you don't gotta...
I'm a pimp. I don't care.
We're Dominican. Of course we bring white rice and spaghetti to the beach.
We Dominican. Of course that's my sister. My father had two different wives. Fuck that repeat. It's the truth though. We Dominican. That's how it is.
Damn.
So what?
Now, like I said, I'm going to give you all some time to form your own opinions. I'm going to go ahead and play the intro and, let you sit with your thoughts. So the first thing that is said in this video is by the woman. She says, we're Dominican, of course we're black. And she throws up the black power fist, sprinkles a little extra charcoal into the mix, right? So this is my thing. I've never liked when people mock the Dominicans with that, oh, I know black eye Dominican thing, because there are plenty of Dominicans who are not black. Now, of course, there are black Dominicans. Look at the guy in the video, right? There are black Dominicans, and if they're saying that nonsense, then that brings up a whole conversation about how sometimes black and African American, the ethnicity, are used interchangeably. So they're saying I'm not African American, I'm Dominican, right? But a lot of people take it as them meaning they're not black racially, whatever, okay? So anyway, I've never liked when people mock Dominicans with that, because there are a lot of Dominicans who are not black. Example, look at this woman, right? So I went to the comments and I commented this. I was like, girl, you're not black. Like, what? And this is the thing, though. I was not the first person to comment this. Now, you know you're not black when other folks are telling you you're not black, too, because y'all like to disagree with me and pretend that folks is black when they not. So you know good and well if folks are agreeing with me, because y'all never do, then you really must not be black, okay? So somebody else had already commented and said, yeah, she's not black, she's mixed or something like that, right? And the Dominican woman had replied to this comment. So I went and I looked at her response, right? So first of all, look at her written response before we even get into her video response to this comment, right? So she says, everybody loves gatekeeping blackness. I'm not white enough to be white. I'm not Latino enough to be Hispanic, and I'm not black enough to be black. I don't care. I'm me. I'm black and I'm proud. Now, this is my thing, right? So she says she's not white enough to be white, and she took that. She took that, right? She said she's not Latino enough to be Hispanic, and she took that, right? But then when black people said, well, you're not black enough to be black, that's when she said, I don't care. I'm black and I'm proud, right? So when white people said, you're not white, you said, oh, okay, yes, you can set that boundary. You can gatekeep whiteness, right? But then she turned around and literally said, oh, but black people can't gatekeep blackness though, right? So first of all, we already have a bunch of issues just with the written response, right? But now let's go and let's look at her video response, because y'all, would y'all believe it gets even worse?
So I was curious about my ancestry and why I look the way that I look. And so last year I did my 23andMe. So if you've ever done 23andMe, you know that they give you a very detailed breakdown of what you're made up of. So let's take a look at mine. So first it shows the colors of all the countries that you come from, mostly the West. This is me, 100% me. 45% European, which makes sense of why I have this light skin color. 37% Spanish Portuguese. Makes sense. They were the biggest colonizers. They imported, I think, 5.6 million slaves. And the first word to come that hit the Americas was the island of Hispaniola, where I'm from, the Dominican Republic. I'm 40% sub-Saharan African, mostly West African, which also makes sense with the whole slave trade and all of that. That makes sense. And that's why I get my curly hairs, my little kinky kinks. And I'm also 8% indigenous American, which also makes sense. The island was ruled by Taino Indians, indigenous people. And 23andMe could tell that I come from the Dominican Republic. So yeah, if you know anything about the history of the Dominican Republic, Spanish Portuguese kidnapped millions of slaves from mostly West Africa, brought them in through. We were the first country, I'm talking about the Hispaniola, which includes Haiti. We were the first free black nation, thanks to Toussaint Louverture. And yeah, when you look at the breakdown of everything that makes up me and what I look like, it all makes a lot of sense. What does your 23andMe say? I'm curious to know. And if you're Dominican, do it because, honey, it breaks it down. And I found some cousins. And I found some cousins on there. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what more of my mixed Latinx folks come up with when they do their 23andMe.
Now, let me tell you why I'm confused after watching this. She is 45% European and 40% West African. But in her first video, she said, we're Dominican, of course we're black, even though she's more European than she is West African. And then in her comment that she typed out, she said, oh, y'all are gatekeeping blackness. This is me. I'm black and I'm proud. Even though she is more European than she is West African. Is nobody like, is nobody else looking at this like, what is going on? Like, come on now. Like, we really need to have a serious discussion about this because this woman is not the first person or the last person to do something like this. I make videos about stuff like this all the time. Honestly, at this point, it's feeling like a bit of a mockery. Now, for those of you all who don't know, I am African American, which means that I am descended from transatlantic slavery in the United States of America. Okay, so she is Dominican and she spoke about transatlantic slavery. She spoke about how the Spaniards enslaved West Africans and brought them down there, right? And of course, I'm descended from transatlantic slavery too. The same thing was happening here. Different types of white people, you know, mostly English people, French people, etc., were abducting West Africans and bringing them to the United States of America, right? So this is my thing. We all know that slavery was a horrific thing. We all know that there was a lot of rape and stuff like that going on, right? So this is the reality that, you know, even an actual black person like me, who is descended from transatlantic slavery, is going to have some white in them because of the rape that our ancestors endured. Like I myself, I say I'm like 85% black, but that's really my sister's DNA results. I never actually did mine. And even though we have the same parents, you don't actually have the exact same DNA as your siblings, right? So we'll just say, you know, that I'm 85% black and 15% white. Something like that, right? So again, it's because of the rape that my ancestors endured during transatlantic slavery, right? But this is the thing. I'm 85% West African, 15% European. She's 45% European, 40% West African. Then there's some Native American and Asian in there, right? It's crazy because there are going to be people in my comments commenting, well, how can you gatekeep blackness? You're not 100% black either. Do we not see a clear difference here? This is my legitimate question. At what point do we stop playing? Because again, I know a lot of people are going to be in my comments, well, you have some white and you from slavery too, right? At what point do we say, okay, clearly this person is no longer a black person with some white because of slavery. This person is a white person or at least a mixed person, right? I'll give her that. Okay, you're mixed, okay? But again, I don't get how, this is my thing. At the very least, she could have been majority West African. Say even if let's just switch the numbers. Let's say she was 45% West African and 40% European, right? Still, you're not black. That's not even half black, right? But at least you could be like, okay, well, my majority is West African, so I'm gonna just claim that that's the biggest percentage of whatever that I have, right? Your biggest percentage is European, and you're not even half black, not even close. But you still sitting here claiming to be black. Why is it that people feel comfortable stepping into blackness in a way that they do not feel comfortable stepping into whiteness? I really want to know. And then I got to bring up what she mentioned about Haiti too, because hold up, pause. Now, y'all know I stay in everybody's business, baby. I be on Haitian TikTok too, and this is the thing. They stay talking about how racist these Dominicans are against them. They share an island, and mind you, Haiti is like a 8th world country, while the Dominican Republic is really like, it's not doing nearly as bad, right? I think it may even be doing pretty well. Now, excuse me if I make a slip up, because there's a country that shares the island with Haiti. I guess that's Dominican Republic, because that's what this lady said in this video. Then there's another one that's called like the Dominican or something. They almost got the same name, but doesn't share an island with Haiti. It's different, right? So excuse me if I make a mistake and call, you know, the wrong country the wrong thing, right? But my point is this though. She gonna try to slip in that little, oh, we was the first free black republic, so and so, Haiti, yada, yada, yada. Bitch, y'all don't fuck with Haitians. Y'all don't fuck with them at all. Y'all live on the same fucking island and y'all make sure to stay the fuck away from them and that y'all live in separate countries because y'all don't even fucking like them, bitch. And the fact that you got on here and big capped like that shit is disrespectful. And let me tell you why I'm so fucking irritated by this, bro. Because 5-10 years ago, somebody like this woman would not be claiming to be black. Which, to be fair, she's not black. So I'm not mad at that at all, right? I'm not mad at that at all, right? And this is the thing. Somebody like her would have been dog walking actual fucking black people. Because people like her are racist as fuck to actual fucking black people. But now that being black is cool in 2024, everybody talking about melanin magic and I guess reparations are coming and shit. Now everybody is talking about they black. Bitch, when the fuck did y'all become black? Like, I'm so fucking confused. Like, when the fuck did all these random stray dogs start swearing that they black? Because this was not a thing not very long ago, bro. This shit just started happening. You're 45% white and 40% black. It's not even like you 45% white and then the whole other like 55% is black. No. You got other little sprinklings of other things in there. So you're only 40% black. You literally more white than you are black, but you sitting here talking about, yeah, I'm black and I'm proud. What? And then I don't get it. I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. And it's personally offensive to me as somebody who's actually black, though, because this is literally just anti-blackness live and in the fucking flesh. Y'all can paint it how you want to paint it, but how can somebody who is 45% white sit here and say that they are black and then in the same breath be like, yeah, I'm not white enough to be white. I'm not black enough to be black. I'm not Latino enough to be Hispanic. I'm black and I'm proud. You can't gatekeep this. But you let white people gatekeep whiteness from your goofball ass. You let the Hispanics gatekeep Hispanicness from your goofball ass. And we all know you mean non-black Hispanics with that shit. But when black people rightfully gatekeep blackness from your goofball ass, then suddenly it's, oh, I'm black and I'm proud. I don't care what you say. And you don't see how that's racist as fuck. This is the craziest part. She's sitting here arguing with black people. I'm black and I'm proud. But let's imagine 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 300 years ago. Do you think that she'd be sitting here arguing that she is black? Hell no. She would be up in them Spaniards' faces like, hey, I'm not black. I should be treated better than black people because look at me. Clearly, you can look at me and tell that I'm not black, right? But now in 2024, she want to sit here talking about she black because reparations is coming and blackness is in and it's cool and all of this shit, right? But this is my confusion. This is my confusion because there's this whole concept, mejora la raza, and it's basically like whitening the race, right? And it was a huge thing in Latin America where literally their objective was to whiten the race. So a black person would have a child with a white person, then hopefully that child would have a child with a white person, hopefully that child would have a child with a white person, and ultimately they would whiten the race, right? So you sitting here claiming that you black, you raggedy ass bitch, when you know good and fucking well that your people spent generations ensuring that you would not be fucking black. But you gonna sit here and lie and act stupid because you think that somebody don't know what your people actually is about. Girl, bye. Y'all are racist as fuck, and then y'all expect black people to not be offended by this shit. And the honest to God truth is so sad is that some black people aren't offended by this. I promise you, it's gonna be some niggas in the comments defending this. Well, blackness come in all shades. Yeah, she 45% white and only 40% black, but that's still black. Like, that's the saddest part of the whole ordeal.